I'm 21 and a college senior from Connecticut. I live in a semi-rural area, about 20 minutes from the closest supermarket and fast food. I go to school in Washington, D.C., not the nice part either, but the part where substance users are a problem and cops are reassuring rather than troublesome. I've definitely seen some things in my day. It would be good to mention here that I'm not some glandular freak. I'm 6'1" and 240 lb, most of it muscle, and Lord knows that I could drop 15 lbs or so. I love to smoke drink, and yet and being the good student that I am, I picked a real major accounting. Interned for a mid-sized PR firm, doing accounting work and getting paid $20 an hour. College is expensive, so I deliver pizzas at night after the office close. It's a cheap sort of pizza place with an absurdly large delivery radius around 20 minutes from my house and 5 minutes from the beach. My place is north of there, and we deliver probably another 50 minutes. Past my house, I'm actually typing this at work, in between, examining the fine print on our client contracts to ensure that we are charging them every penny. Believe me, they do everything they can to short us. But anyway, basically the further north you go from the pizza place, the more countryside it gets. I work until close, and this happens at around 9:45 p.m. I'm in the back folding pizza boxes as like a good little boy, and the counter girl comes back with a delivery slip. She tells me that this customer sounded weird on the phone, kind of like he was talking through a fan or through his hands, and that he was kind of gurgling. My Washington, D.C. experience instantly makes me think of some user, if you catch my drift. Although around here it's way more likely to be some benzo freak automatically assuming some weird interaction will occur. I look at the address. It's basically in the middle of nowhere. I'm a little mad because I don't want to drive that far, but screw it. Not to mention, it's the weirdest ticket I've ever seen. The guy ordered a large pizza with anchovies, ground beef, ham, sausage, pepperoni, etc. Literally $15 worth of extras on top of his pizza. I go to ask the counter girl if this is right, and she says she thinks so. She couldn't really make it out though, so she said she did her best. She's about 16 years old, so I cut her some slack. Maybe she was daydreaming while she took the call, so I'll just give them a call back to be sure. I dialed the phone and it rings 5, 10, 20, 30 times, but no one answers. I hang up and call again. This time the phone goes right to the number you have dialed does not have a voicemail box that has been set up yet. Goodbye, okay? Then my manager decides to just make the pizza as ordered, and we would proceed from there. I go out to deliver a separate pizza to a hilariously big guy and a couple who invited me in for drinks. But I don't drink or smoke when I'm working. I was shopping by the time I got back. That someone else delivered that pizza order, and surprise, surprise, no one did. And it was my turn again to pick up an order. And begrudgingly, I take the pizza and get in my car. I entered the address in my phone. It's on a side street adjacent to a park. Locals call open space, which, despite the name, is actually about 500 acres of straight woods. It's about 25 minutes away. Basically the edge of our range. I put on some dub, step and cranked my turbo Subier while taking off towards this road. Now, if you're not from a rural area, this can be hard to explain. Winter in the woods is scary. There's never a single sound ever, unless there's something larger than a cat walking around. It's just you in complete silence. Finally, I make it to the address. There are a few houses on the street, but they sit on probably 5 acres, so they're spaced out a fair amount. I'm looking for number 1134. I pass 1130, then a long stretch of road of nothing, and then it picks up again at 1144. What the heck, I just want to get this over with and get the next delivery without getting attacked by some pillhead over something as small as a pizza. I try calling their number again, and it rings and rings, and then stops ringing. Wait a minute, someone picked up, but there's no voice. Instead, I hear a buzzing or a humming sound. They hooked up to my car stereo, and it's getting louder and louder until I just hang up, because I don't want to ruin my speakers. The windows are fogging up at this point. I'm pulled over between 2 of these houses, right? When I roll the windows down, and I am overcome by this odor of decaying trash, like driving through Newark, New Jersey. It's so gross. I put the car in first and start pulling towards the next house, trying to escape it at the end of the driveway. There's a stone with a light on top. The plan was to pull into this house and knock and ask if maybe they gave me the wrong number over the phone. That would make sense for these kinds of people. I'm probably 100 FT away when I see someone step out of the darkness and into the light at the bottom of the driveway. I sigh. Thank goodness it's the guy that ordered. I'm expecting the guy to be all over the place, leaning over, acting completely out of his mind, but is actually pretty calm. I stop the car about 10 ft away from him. He's wearing a big black coat that looks 3 times too big for him even, though he's probably got 5 in on me. I don't look right at him at first. I grabbed the pizza and step out of the car. Then I grab the tickets and prepare a change. If it gives cash, I say to him, "Hey sir, sorry about the waiting for all the calls I made. Delivery's pretty far, there's no response from him." I realized that I should be watching him, considering the red flags and the smell is extremely pungent. But I know it's not trash day. I get the pizza on the roof of my car, and he's standing there under the light on the opposite side. I finally pay enough attention to get a good look at them. The guy is basically a giant. He's wearing no shoes and he has ripped up jeans and there are stains everywhere. I try to get a look at his face and his eyes seem to be sunken in. I can't even see the actual pupils with the light from here. It's like they're just black craters. I'm getting really sketched out at this point because the guy still hasn't moved or said a word. I stop the process and stare at him. He's staring right back at me with his freaky eyes. His head is sort of bobbing side to side, but not in any sort of fluid sense at all, kind of like a car door, like how it stops halfway open, and then you give it another shove and it stops at the all the way point. I watched his head do this with no real pattern for about 10 seconds. I'm stared to get more uneasy between the stench, his head movement, and the eyes and him still completely ignoring me. I stand frozen, and so to see, without breaking eye contact, I take my phone out of my pocket and hold it with the roof so I can look at the guy and my phone at the same time. Curiosity overflowing, I decided to go to their sent calls in my phone and I redial his number. The phone starts ringing, but I don't hear it anywhere. Wait a second. I do hear it. It's coming out of the quiet of the woods. I can hear a faint distant cell phone ringing about 50 yards away in the woods, and I'm kicking myself at this point, almost soiling myself off. The guy's just standing there still doing the head thing. But I swear to God, I see him smiling. Finally, I get the courage to speak. Can you please come get this? Also, I think you might have dropped your phone or something when you were hiding a body or whatever in the woods. I laugh nervously, still thinking maybe this guy just dug too deep into the prescription pills, and I see his mouth open, head still bobbing. Feet planted on the ground, he makes a sort of flow, guttural, quick grunt, and then a high grunt, and then a low grunt, and they're sort of soft, kind of like someone clearing their throat. At this point, I'm ready to book it to the driver's seat if I have to. And just as I go to redial that phone again, I hear him talking. That phone's not mine. The pause between the phone's not and mine was way too long. Phone's not literally sounded like one word. Mine came off as an octave higher. My mind is in DEFCON 5 full-on panic mode. My knees are weak and I'm literally about to pass out. I push the pizza to the far side of the roof away from me, and I finally muster out, "Sir, you're freaking me out. I got a 45 and less than $20 on me. Just take this so I can leave." When I say this, his head bobbing stops. His eyes are dark and burning a hole through me. And he opens his mouth again. "It what? His what?" I ask, stunned. "It wash." His the phone washes. The guy starts coming towards my car, not the step, but like one huge muscle spasm that propels him forward. The phone washes here. Pete's. I'm on the verge of tears. This point, the guy jumps again now, closer to the car. Phone's not his anymore. I blubber wordlessly, then gather myself and scream, "I'm going to call the cops, man, if you just don't get out of here." I see this guy smile, that creepy smile, and without moving his mouth, I hear him saying a completely different voice, a voice I've never heard before, "Go away. Stop following me. I will call the police." In another big jerky motion, the thing reaches forward, takes the pizza off the roof, and places a couple of round things that I later identify as quarters on the roof. They're surrounded by this dark liquid that spreads over the roof. I don't even think, just get in the car and peel out down the road. I leave the hot sleeve for the pizza too. I leave everything, don't even close the door all the way. I get down the road going about 80 for a 4 mile, then pull a U-turn because I don't want to get even more lost with that psycho out there. I whip down the road past the place where I had just been and he's gone. I finally get to the end of the road, and there's a stop sign to merge with the main road. I look right to make sure it's clear, then I look left. That thing's face is 12 in from my own where I turn. I tactically have a heart attack and peel off down the road, I finally make it back to the pizza place, shaking like crazy. I smoke just to calm down, which I never do when I'm working. I walk in the front door of the pizza place. Hey, that guy at the open space house just called back. He said you forgot some food, but he only ordered the pizza, right? He